We're going to push a little bit more into Spires today. Again, on the hardest summoner for this, Heath. And I say Heath is the hardest summoner because he's the most selfish one. He's just about damage. And it's mostly single target too. But we're going to keep pushing as Heath, but mainly about 169, giggity, and by far one of the best combos in the game for free to play in terms of monsters. If you end up liking this video, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell ding of things. You know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. Tip of the day. I've talked about this many times. Element advantage. It's so strong. You got to think about this when making your team comps. And that's why we're going to briefly talk about floor 168. Every single enemy is fire. So use your water weapon on your summoner. Know what the water weapon brings in terms of mechanics. And make your team comp that way. So again, bring element advantage. In 168 specifically, there's a ton of debuffs that they're going to put out on you. There's also a bunch of buff stripping. And there's healing. You need to kill the buff strippers as quick as possible. What I went with was Wusa, Celestia, and Sharon. Mainly Sharon because of undead and recovery received down. Once she applies undead to the target and they heal, it's gonna hurt. But all I did was start the match with immunity, and what you want to do is go ahead and burn down the 2 fire sylphs first. This is important because they do strip. Don't worry about the cleanses from the oracles, don't worry about anything else. Kill those sylphs as quick as possible, and with Sharon being single target, huge damage, you will be able to do that pretty quickly. Just go ahead and spam Celestia's second skill when all the monsters' skills are off of cooldown. This will apply shield. Wusa's bringing shield and immunity too, and shield is really good against DOT. But once the second sylph is dead, then go ahead and go after the oracles. The oracles will be the next step. Once the oracles are down, just kill the Joker, kill the Paladin. If you have Sharon decently built, you will easily do this. The more you know. Alright, Spires floor 169. Giggity. As you see on the statistics, there's a lot of common ground here, right? Light Polar Queen. We don't got that. Genos. We don't got that. But I'm going to talk about what you need, why it's so difficult. Alright, first and foremost, the boss is Tessarian. Defense down, damage over time, Oblivion. Darien. AoE taunt right at the beginning of the battle. Defense buff. More taunts. And then you have Light Hell Lady. Light Hell Lady has 2 AoE attacks. She applies attack down, she applies unrecoverable if the target has a bleed. She also has an AoE strip of immunity and applies bleeds. Her passive applies invincibility and level 9 attack up and accuracy. Like it matters anyway, she gets 100% accuracy in Spires. It's stupid. So how do you beat this? One of the best combos in this game is Celestia and Juno for free to play. Now, I don't even have a maxed out legendary artifact of Celestia, so I don't get that mana back every single time. But what Celestia and Juno do together, decrease monster skill cooldown, increase ultimate gauge, AoE buff strip, and a cleanse with an AoE heal. Along with Celestia's shield, of course. Celestia on Soul Link, spamming her second skill. Juno non-stop using skills because of the skill cooldown, giving mana back to be able to use Celestia's second skill more. The mana gain in this combo is crazy. PvE and PvP, mind you. So what's the third person in this comp? And that's when you bring in Varad. He's like the poor man's version of Genos. I have him soul connected right now, so I don't even really have him built. So this is how you take care of floor I-69. Yeah. Now I don't have immunity, so there's going to be times when I get provoke. The amount of times that they provoke from both, it's hard not to get away with it without immunity. Juno can only cleanse so much. So we're going to focus the Vagabonds first. Vrad's going to be doing a ton of AoE damage. So unless the other enemies are already dead, we're going after the Light Hell Ladies next, and then Fire Ifrit last. But what I do first is dash in, use Vrad's second skill to get a freeze, and then I switch to Celestia and just watch the cooldowns of my monsters, and when they are down, that's when I'll use the second skill. And the amount of ultimates that I get with this combo is crazy. Once I get the ultimate gauge to max, I will switch to Varad and use his ultimate like this. And I wait till the invincibility falls off, guys. You gotta wait, okay? But the amount of damage that goes off with the freeze and then them using chill explosion when the target is frozen, it's huge. Just pay attention really to A, your cooldowns on your monsters, and B, if the light hell ladies have invincibility, okay? So again, all you gotta do is do AoE damage, kill them off, and really they all stack on each other anyway, so you're probably gonna be killing others at the same time. But this combo right here of these three will beat at least half of the Spires floors. There's going to be certain situations where you need to replace things, yes. But honestly, I would always try this combo out first. Crazy PvE comp. Now, if you haven't summoned a Varad, what else could you use? Of course, Genos. But the One Punch Man collab, A, you weren't here for. B, you used all your summons and didn't even get one natural 5-star of the One Punch Man. Worst collab ever. So again, what can you use? Shimite is your hand-me-down Varad, but he has 2 AoE attacks, both removing beneficial effects. And if the target has no beneficial effects, he does more damage and gives your team mana regen speed up. This is your second best bet, but here's some more. Quick tip. Use Soul Connection for these Spires floors for monsters you don't have built. Don't use Restore Stones. Don't waste Devilmons. Just use Soul Connection. You'll thank me later. But use any of these monsters if you don't have Varad and Genos. Sekhmet, AoE Silence, buff steals defense down. Chiwu, AoE buff strip, AoE block beneficial effect. Skill cooldown increase on the enemy. Rocky, AoE defense down, removing beneficial effects, attack down. Health sustain, endure. Taeor, huge defense buff for your team, AoE damage, provoke. The ultimate is huge. Taeor can do some damage. A great place for Lapis. AoE attack down, AoE defense down, self-sustain. She will literally tear their defense to shreds. That's it for today's video. Just wanted to talk about one of the best combos for PvE and even for PvP. If you end up liking this video, sub, like, ding ding a bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.